How you boys doing?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
I think that's in very bad taste.
Do a dance, Kato. Come here, Kato. 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 Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. What's going on? It's your boy, Master Champion. I'm doing this breakfast hour video because I want to talk about anime, manga, pretty much. I really want to talk about some anime that I've been watching recently, and I want to recommend it, but I'm doing it on this particular video because these are like hit and miss anime. You're either gonna find them to be somewhat funny and slightly enjoy it, or you're just gonna freaking hate it and you're gonna call me a douchebag. So that's why I'm recommending them on this particular video and not on the anime recommendation or the Kente Corner video. Kento Corner. But one of the anime is Golden Time. I like that shit though. I'm a fan of it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's, you know, rather funny. You know what I'm saying? I think it's quite an interesting story. I think it's quite sweet. You know, I like the whole romance angle that's being thrown in there. You know what I'm saying? I quite like it. I think all the characters are somewhat interesting. Two of them, not really, but for the most part, I think they're somewhat interesting. So, I do. I like Golden Time, man. I was gonna put a little clip in here. Not gonna do that though. I'm tired of my videos being like, you know, marked some type of way. So, but yeah, man. Golden Time is about this dude named Tada Bonnery, and Tada Bonnery is a character who, like, I think 2 years prior to the main storyline, he fell off of a bridge. He was in an accident, and he fell off of a bridge. He hit his head, lost his memory. He has amnesia. Classic soap opera plot, right? Guy loses memory, but he moves on with his life. And that's a relatable character to me because when I was like 6 or something like that, 6 or 7, I fell on my head as well. And I don't have retrograde amnesia like he does, you know what I'm saying? But just over time, they say, like, you know, my memory fades faster than most people's or something like that. I don't care about it though. But he hits his head. But the story pretty much is he's a college student, and that's another thing I like about it though, man, because this was one of the first times I watched an anime that's been done recently, and the characters were like relatively closer to like my age than opposed to like being children. You know what I'm saying? Because for the most part in anime, the kids like usually between like 15 and 17 or something like that. You know, they usually start off being 15, then when the series ends, they're like 17. So that's kind of how it was. But in this one, and it's weird because on the wiki page, for some odd ass reason, they got Bonnery still being like fucking 19. But then they also have everybody else, all his friends who are in his college, being 19 as well. But I'm like, if he hit his head and was like, he got kind of held back a year in school, wouldn't that make him 20 and everybody else would be 19? Regardless of that fact, they were all around my age. So, you know, I thought it was kind of cool because I'm 24. And like I said, I think for the most part, Bonnery is supposed to be 20. And there's a character in there named Nana who she has to at least be 21. So I thought that was kind of cool. They all around my age, so I thought it was cool. And they be drinking and shit, so, you know, they gotta at least be 21, right? Or maybe they're just some US shit. But the story centers around Tada Bonnery and his amnesia. He goes to college. He's a law student. That's good, Tada. Real good. He's a law student, and upon going there, he on the first day, he misses the entrance exam. And because he misses the entrance exam, he doesn't even really know where the school is. Well, the department he's supposed to go to, he doesn't know what that is. So he kind of like follows behind these two girls who look like they're going to his school, and they were, but they get a phone call from a friend of theirs, just kind of like bounce, and he's just stuck in this store, and he like buys an ice cream, and he walks outside, and he sees a guy who also bought an ice cream, and just kind of standing outside looking disheveled, and he's like, "Did you get lost too, trying to get to the school?" And the guy's like, "Yeah," and that guy is Mitsuo, or Yana, as Monri calls him, and they become quick friends, you know, in the process of the show in that particular episode 1. And Monri asks Mitsuo some like really kind of not personal question, but just a little bit about him and all that type of stuff. And Mitsuo then goes on this long spiel about how he, you know, is escaping from this calamity and this disaster, this girl from his past, and the girl pulls up in the fucking taxi, and she proceeds to slap the shit out of him with a bouquet of flowers, like over and over again. Like she slapped the shit out of this dude, and I'm just like, oh. And she's a stunner, according to the show. I mean, for the most part, man, like when you're dealing with art styles like that in particular, all of the characters looking like somewhat, you know what I'm saying? But in the course of the show, she's supposed to be a stunner, and I can just tell by the way she dresses. Like, it's funny because in the show they say, "Oh man, she dresses like a rich girl." Man, like it's hard to approach her because she dresses like a rich girl. But from my perspective, I'm just like, "Oh, okay, she dresses like a Western girl." You know, she has like high U.S. fashion sense. It seems like, just from the stuff that I've seen her wear so far in the show. But the show is a show about romance and love, and it's about the relationships that these characters build with one another and the secrets and lies that they tell to one another. It's a very, I like it though. Like I said, it's fulfilling me. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's a pretty good series. I think that the series holds its own, and I'm also glad that Sentai Filmworks has decided to grab it, because Sentai Filmworks does well with stuff like that. When it comes to drama and suspense and romance, they're really good at doing it. Funimation is good at doing the more action-y, you know what I'm saying, psychological shit, but for the most part, Sentai Filmworks is really good with doing it. Another series that I want to recommend is D-Frag. A lot of people might be familiar with D-Frag because of the manga and all that type of stuff, or you might just watch it through Funimation's website, which I recommend. I recommend you subscribe to Funimation's website. You know what I'm saying? Because they simulcast stuff, so it's up there. And their original programming is quite funny, though. Funimation's original shit is quite funny. So if you enjoy anime and you enjoy stuff like that, you know, subscribe to Funimation's website. If Sentai Filmworks had a real website, you know what I'm saying, I would subscribe to it as well. But theirs isn't as built up yet because Sentai Filmworks is relatively new, because it's a spinoff from ADV Films back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like ADV Films, like, went into bankruptcy and it got bought out and all that shit, and it just kind of splintered off into like little smaller factions. So. But D-Frag is a series about a delinquent named Kazuma Kenji, or Kenji Kazuma, depending on kanji and romanji. But he's a delinquent and he's a new student in the school. You know, it's weird because I don't know if he's a new student, because I think he's new there, but I think he's a second-year student. Yeah, he's a second-year student because one of the girls, okay, yeah, he's a second-year student, and he's trying to build up a name for himself within the school as a delinquent. It's obvious, though, from the beginning, though, like, when you look at his character, that he doesn't have delinquent traits. The traits of a delinquent are usually people who don't care about anything, but, you know, he's not that guy. He is putting up the facade of being a delinquent. You know what I'm saying? He might be impressed with that lifestyle of being a delinquent, but he really isn't a delinquent. So he's a lovable character. He also kind of reminds me of Ichigo, his hairstyle, but his face reminds me of Kazuma from Kaze no Stigma, if you ever seen that. So he's like a mixture of Kazuma and Ichigo, just smashed together. He got Ichigo's hair and Kazuma's face. But yeah, he's a delinquent in the school, and he is pretty much taken hostage, forced to join the game creation club by a series of eclectic, weird, just hyperactive girls. A little blonde girl, again, the whole lowly thing, but you know, what can you do? It's anime, right? But She is also a second-year student. Her name is Roka, and she is the president of the Game Creation Club. And her reactions, I mean, her interactions with Kazuma are just classic comedy. It's just classic comedy. It's over the top. What the fuck is going on type of comedy. It's just classic over the top, right? And it's obvious just from these small episodes that you watch. It's obvious that she holds him in some high standard. You know, it might be bordering on some romantic type of stuff because there are times when you watch the show where she kind of gets jealous at certain things that happen. It's kind of like, oh, why would she be jealous about that? That's just a precious, you know what I'm saying, fucking club meet. But it's more than that. You can tell it's just more than that. I think she sees a bit of herself in him, even though he tried to reserves it or whatever. Like he tried to hold it back, but she sees it. And then there's also the president of the student council, Chitose, and this bitch is ridiculous. This girl is crazy as shit. She has purple hair, you know what I mean? So I was already liking her because it's my favorite color and shit, but she fucking is just insane and crazy. She just does shit just to do it. I mean, it's all random and she just does crazy type of things just to do it. She likes stirring up shit. She likes confrontation and shit. But at the same time, she is a genuinely nice character from time to time. I think it was an episode, I want to say 3 or 4. I want to say 3. I could be wrong, but it was in one of those episodes where there was a battle going on between the two game creation clubs, and the provisional club, which is the club that Kazuma and Roka and Chitose are a part of, they end up winning, and the president of the real game creation club, Takeo, she is kind of like mad and upset and kind of crying, but you know, Chitoge actually hugs her and just like, listen, I really don't care who wins this. I'm sorry for making you cry. I'm sorry for doing this to you. But Roka said she's happy here and she has a club of her own. Roka is my best friend. I have to do what's right for her. And I was like, whoa, she's a decent character. In the next scene, she tries to fucking molest Takeo boobs. She tries to fucking, they keep doing this shit. Like, yeah, I'm about to pinch those nipples. I'm like, whoa, like, that was a complete 180 from what just happened. You know what I'm saying? But I like her character, and the other two characters you don't really like. They're not as prominent. You know what I'm saying? There's I forgot her name. It's a pink-haired girl. She's a first-year student. She's the water type. And then there's the teacher who just sleeps for the most part. You have Takeo, the president of the real game creation club, who has feelings for Kazuma. You can already see it's clear as day right now. Then you have her name is Funabori. She's kind of like the school idol, being a pretty kind of housewifey type of chick, and she seems to harbor feeling for Kazuma as well. You can kind of see that shit going on. But like I said though, forget the romantic aspect of it. It's quite funny though, because they are like, when they play these games, they take it serious as shit though. Like in episode 1, they all talking about what types they are, and these girls, like literally, like as Kazuma is running away, like he's literally running away, and the pink haired girl is like, oh, I forgot my water. I mean, she's on his heels. She's like, oh, I forgot my water. Let me go back and get it because I can't use water attacks. And then he's like, where's the president? And then the purple haired president, Chisoge. And he's like, where is she? And he's like, well, she went outside to go get some sand because she's an earth type. Like that's how serious they are when they're playing these games or whatever. Like it's just completely hilarious and just stupid. So I enjoy stupidity sometimes, you know what I'm saying, whether it's in cartoon form, if it's in real life, the fucking stuff, but in cartoon form, stupidity is funny, and I highly recommend it. Another anime I recommend is Sunday Without God. I don't know if I brought this up before, but Sunday Without God is like, it was different to me. I hadn't seen anything like this. The only thing that I have to like really say about it that's kind of like bad is like, I don't like how they drew Ai. I don't like that shit. I don't like how she's drawn, because like every time I see her, I keep thinking she's like a 6-year-old girl. I'm like, okay, she's a baby. You know what I'm saying? She's like a toddler. But I'm like, whoa, she's supposed to be like 12 or something like that. I'm like, whoa, she looks so young. Like she looks like a baby. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I don't like the way she was drawn. But other than that, though, the show is awesome. And you know what? It's two things I didn't like. I didn't like the way she was drawn, and I didn't like there was a character in there named Humpney Hampart. It's not his real name. It's just what he was called. His real name was like fucking something Aston. I forgot. But he was like, I mean, even the intro, unless they're going to do something different in season 2, even the intro, he is throughout the intro. He is throughout the intro. And the outro, he is throughout the sequence. He is throughout it. But he does not make it past episode 2. I don't care. That might be a spoiler alert. Whatever. He does not make it past episode 2. And it frustrated me. I was like, what? How is this character? And he was like one of the most gangster characters. I was like, whoa. How did this character not make it past episode 2? That made me almost stop watching the show. But the show is awesome. The show is awesome. In this world, God has abandoned the world. He has just left it to its own devices. And because he left it, people cannot die nor be born. I is the last girl born into this world. She is the last child born into this world. And before God left for good, he said, I'll do you guys one favor, because you all been praying to me since you can't die anymore. I'll do you one last favor before I fuck off. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to create beings that have the power to put you to rest. And these beings will be called the Grave Keepers. The Grave Keepers are the only ones who can kill people in this world. And in this world, you will decay and you will grow old and your body will rot, but you will never die. It was just like the Curse of the Black Pearl in the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I mean, to constantly be living with no satisfaction is the most horrible life I can think of. And that's what's happening in this anime. The characters can't die, only the Grave Keepers can do it. So, and that's as far as I want to go into that shit, because it's a bunch of spoilery type of things going on. But that anime is beautiful. It is beautiful. Other than her drawing, it is awesome. It is beautiful. Highly recommend that shit. The last anime series that I'm going to recommend is Haganai, or literally, I Don't Have Many Friends. This series is awesome, man. It's funny. It has the whole harem fucking element going on, including the lowlies again. But it's a funny series though, man. The main character is a character named Kodaka Hasagawa, and he is also looked at as a delinquent. Now, in his defense, he's not trying to be. His hair isn't a natural color, but it's natural. It is his hair, but it's unlike, it doesn't fit in with the Japanese society, so he's looked at as a delinquent and a troublemaker, and he's shunned by most of the people in his class or whatever. But he is pretty much, he runs into this girl named Yozuru Mikazuki, and they start talking about how they lack the ability to make friends and how they don't have any friends at the school and all that type of stuff. And she says, okay, well, let's make a club. So they make a club called the Neighbors Club, and the Neighbors Club is built with the objective of making new friends. That's its objective. We're supposed to make new friends. And they put up all these posters and all type of stuff, and they get one new member on the first day of putting up the posters, and this girl's name is Sena Kashiwazaki. And Sena's a blonde-haired, big boob girl, archetype number 1 in the harem universe. But it just centers around these characters, man. Their characters are Kodaka, Yozura, Sena, Yukimura, Rika, Maria, and Kobato, who is Kodaka's little sister. There are some secondary characters, but I'm not going to mention them. Who gives a fuck, really? Those are the main characters who are a part of the Neighbors Club in this universe. And like I said, for the most part, it's a harem element to it. With Yozura, Sena, Rika, and Yukimura. Like I said, it's also other characters, but I'm just going to do those 4. And of course, out of those four, there's two of them that really have the hots for this guy, which is Senna and Yozora. Senna and Yozora are pretty much night and day from one another, so that's a balance of the show, and it adds to the comedy between the show. I watched it in both the English dub and the Japanese dub. English dub, I applaud it because they put fucking Jerry Jewell in it. I'm a fan of Jerry Jewell. He needs to get more work. His voice it's a creepy element to his voice, which is weird because he usually voices like somewhat decent characters, but the parts I remember of him were like Happiness Bunny and Barry the Chopper. Like that's the, you know what I'm saying? That's what I remember. Barry the Chopper and Happiness Bunny. But he usually plays decent characters. You know what I'm saying? He usually plays like good natured characters, but that voice, man, that voice. And the woman who does the voice of Yozora, I think she's a newcomer to the voice acting world. Her name is Whitney Rogers. I haven't heard her voice in anything else other than this, but to me, she sounds a lot like Colleen Clickenmeter. To me, that's just to me. She sounds somewhat similar. It's just more punkish. You know what I'm saying? Where Colleen's is kind of happy and kind of bubbly all the time. Like Whitney's is kind of like more like no. It's kind of like that. It's like no instead of no. It's kind of like that. It's kind of just more punkish, whatever. The woman who does the voice of Senna is Jade Saxton. She does the voice of Miyano, if you've ever seen B Got a HK, and she also provided the voice for Kaneko in High School DxD, if you've ever seen that before. Like I said, it's a funny series though, man. I recommend it. It's quite funny. I actually want to see how far it goes in a light novel because I've been reading the light novel series or whatever, and I'm just like, wow, it's a lot of shit that happened that I didn't know, that they didn't even foreshadow really in the anime. I guess because they kind of diverge from it a bit, but it's a good series. I highly recommend it. Funimation has the rights to it. Funimation did the dub for it, so if you want to watch the dub, you can go ahead and do that. You don't even have to read the subtitles. The second season is only in subs, so you don't have no fucking choice but to watch it in subs, but the sub voice is still fucking awesome. Of course, they're always better than that dub, right? But go ahead and watch that, man. It's fucking awesome, and that's the last animated series that I'm recommending on this particular video. Alright, let's talk about some manga real fast. I am a huge fan of UQ Holder. It's hard to say because UQ, like together and shit, just kind of just throws you off, but UQ Holder, man, it's like, it's the same guy who fucking made Negima, if you ever seen Negima. His name is Ken Akamatsu, man, but I'm a fan of that series though, man. Like Ken Akamatsu, he has pretty much a weird, but to me, he has a weird drawing style, you know what I'm saying, but I like it, man. Like, it's a main character who is named like Taito or something like that, and he is like living in this world. Well, he's Negi's like grandson, right? And he's living in this world, and everyone wants to go to like the main city to learn magic and all that type of stuff. And he's living with this woman because his parents died in an accident. So he's living with this woman, and she's like a teacher at their school, and he looks at her kind of like a mother figure and all type of stuff, and she looks at him like a son, and they live together and all type of stuff. But I don't want to spoil it though. I really don't want to spoil it. If you're a fan of Negima, please just go read this because it's somewhat of a continuation of Negima, but minus the harem element and the romance element for the most part. It's only 23 chapters, so for the most part, it's just like it's mostly action for the most part, man. I wasn't that big a fan of Negima, like not really. It wasn't until Fate showed up and I was just like, oh, okay, so this shit can't get serious. That's how UQ Holder is for the most part throughout the series. It's just a real serious. I mean, every now and then they have jokes, you know, so every now and then they do some kind of funny stuff. But when they fight, they fight. I mean, they get down. You know what I'm saying? Like, these dudes get down. And that's what I'm just like, whoa, this is some badass fighting, man. Like, please get into this. The fighting in this is stupid. I mean, it is dumb. You know what I'm saying? It's dumb. It is dumb. So far, though, I'm saying so far. That's why I waited this late to even say anything about it. 23 chapters in, I waited this late to say something about it purposefully, just to see if it was going to hold up my interest when I first started reading it. And so far it has. Another manga that I want to recommend, Carnival. Carnival is weird as shit. I watched the anime too. That is a weird one, dude. And it's weird too because I started reading about it. Like I just kind of like do random, just kind of like surprise me things on the website. Just kind of click on anything, and that was one that came up, and it was like I was like, okay, let me just thumb through this. So it came up, and before I even started reading it, I highlighted the name and I wikied that motherfucker. Right? Started reading about it. I was like, Josei. This is a Josei anime. I mean, a Josei manga? Like, really? Like, this is written primarily for women? Like, really? I was like, okay, like, it might be a romance series, but then I looked on the subcategories, and it was just like thriller, suspense, mystery, horror. I was just like, it's supernatural. I was just like, whoa. Okay, so this has nothing to do with romance. Okay? And then I started reading it, especially in chapter 1. Like, dude, in chapter 1, there was like this fucking woman, and she like transformed into like this demon monster thing. But as she's doing it, her joints are just breaking. And the person who drew this, oh my god, let me look it up because I don't even remember this woman's name. I feel bad. I should know this woman's name because when I saw this, I was just like, whoa! Like, she drew it awesomely. Like, I mean, it was awesome the way she drew this. I think this is a woman who made this. If not, I apologize, but I think it's a woman. Yeah, Toya Mikanagi. Toya Mikanagi, yeah. And so I was just like, whoa, like when you see this, you know what I'm saying? Like it's weird. But pretty much though, man, like the point of this is the main character is a kid named Nine, and he's trying to find like this person, Koroko or something like that. He's trying to find this person, but the only thing he has left of this person is like a thing on his wrist. It's like a bracelet on his wrist or whatever. Like he is trying to find this person, and he's been looking for this person for all this time. And the only thing he like remembers of this person is he remembered that this person went out to the sea, and it was just a blood trail, and then that was it. You know what I'm saying? So he has to find it and whatever, and he runs into this other guy named Gareki. And Gareki is like kind of like I want to say a mercenary, but he's not really a mercenary. He just kind of steals stuff. You know what I'm saying? But he's a proficient fighter or whatever. He uses guns and stuff. He's a tactical dude. But he rescues Nine for some odd ass reason. It pretty much like from there, I don't want to go into too much detail because a lot of that shit afterwards will be spoiler. But it's pretty much about those two characters and their association with this group called Circus. That's what it's all about. It's like demons in this shit. It's just like supernatural stuff going on. Like the government is kind of like iffy and all that type of shit. Man, it's just a weird manga series. I mean, it is weird. Like, it seriously is weird. Like, at first I was like, okay, it may not be that bad. And as I watched episode 1, I was like, it's just weird. It is seriously weird. When that woman transformed into whatever the hell she was, like her joints were just breaking, and the you know what I'm saying, the style that this person chose to draw this in was just kind of like clack 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 clack. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they used the panels right. It wasn't like a giant panel that showed the person. It was just like each individual tiny panel. You just saw a bone crack, a bone crack, a bone crack, and then in the center you saw the neck, which was like, and I was just like, whoa. Awesome. So I recommend Carnival to anybody who wants to fucking read a new manga. Please read. Now let's talk about some shitty anime that I should not have watched. Jesus Christ. I watched this anime called Mocking Key. It was possibly, oh my god, one of the worst animes I've seen in a long time. I honestly thought nothing was going to take school days. I really thought nothing was going to beat that. Mocking Key sucks. It just bored me. I mean, I went to sleep. She just kept going. I woke up, started it over. I'm sorry about that. Jesus. I woke up, started it over. I still didn't get into it. I was like, jeez. And I watched the whole series. Well, I haven't watched the second part because they got a part 2 for some odd ass reason. I haven't watched that, but I watched the first season of it, and I watched the shit in English. Like I watched it in English, and I was like, this fucking sucks. Like it really just sucked. They tried. It's almost like the creators knew that this shit was trash because what they did was just kind of flaunt the bodies of these women like every shot. It was like every shot was like, you know what I'm saying, like a juice box shot, it was an ass shot, tit shot, and it was just like, it was just bad. It was just bad, and I thought that it was gonna be like, now I knew it. I should have known it was gonna suck because when I went to like look it up on an anime ID page or whatever, it was like it got a rating of like 2 point something. I was like, oh shit, this one is not gonna be good because these ratings are out of 10. So I was like, oh shit, like this is not gonna be good. But at the same time, I've been on the anime ID page before, and I was just like, no, not anime ID, it's anime DB, anime database. Yeah, I've been to that website before, and I was just like, they give ratings sometimes to shit that I find to be like quite, you know what I'm saying, interesting. So I was kind of like, you know, I might give this shit a chance, you know. And then I started reading about what it was about. I'm like, oh, mocking is like element, and you can manipulate this element, and all type of shit. I'm like, okay, Avatar type of shit, cool. Started watching, it was just tits, ass, juice box. I was like, what the fuck? And the main character was just such a dumbass. It was so unlikable. To the points where it was frustrating that these bitches were like infatuated with this cat. And I was like, why do these women like this guy? He's a dumbass. Like he's a moron. Even his values don't even make sense. It's like from what I remember, there was like his family got torn apart or some shit, and now he just always sides with women. Like no matter who was wrong or right in the argument, he sides with women. And it's kind of like, oh, that's an endearing trait. No, the fuck is not. No, the fuck is not. If that is some psychotic, borderline, if this was the real world, he would have been a serial killer type of shit. You just can't automatically assume just right off the bat that somebody is right because you had a traumatic experience with. I mean, like, no, it was stupid. I'm like, why do they like this guy so much? And his character was a pervert. It was like, dude, if you respect women so fucking much, why are you doing this perverted shit, like trying to fucking sneak and check out these bitches getting measured and shit? You supposed to be like a guy who like revere and respect women. What the fuck? It was probably the worst anime I've seen like in a long time. You know what I'm saying? At least of this year, because I watched it this year in 2014. So it's probably the worst anime I've seen this year. Oh my god, it was. That's pretty much it. I think that's all I gotta talk about. Oh no, it ain't. I just see something. So I bought a box of cigars. Natural Drew Estates. It's a box of 24 cigars. And it opens up cool as shit, but look at that. Put them on display and all that shit if you want to. But I bought a box of cigars and I bought a humidor. It's over there. I'll upload a picture, I guess. But it's over there, and I bought another hookah. Bought another one, so that makes 3 for me. I have 3 hookahs. So I guess I can have a hookah party all by myself. But now, I bought this third one because it comes in like this cage, and it's meant to be like hung up or whatever during like parties and shit. So if I ever decide to have a party downstairs, I can just hang it up if I want to. I probably never will, you know what I'm saying, but it look cool as shit, so I probably, you know, why not? Nah, this probably it. I don't got shit else to say after that. But, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. Thanks for everybody for subscribing to me and shit, man. Thanks for watching my videos and stuff, man. Thanks for just making me feel like I'm doing something for the YouTube anime community, man, because there's a lot of cats out there. And the fact that people are watching my videos and liking my videos and leaving comments on my videos, man, that really is something to me, man. Like you guys have no idea, like how flattered I am by that. Even if it's something negative, even if you leave a negative comment, it's still the fact that you took time out to watch it and criticize what I said. Like I said, man, I appreciate all that, man. It's a Dash Stampede, and I am signing out.